Hey, good morning, everybody. It's like we have a band playing. This is like our band.
Only place in the United States on social media.
That might have been true for like when we first got it, but we've had it for a few months, so I'm sure some other people.
Let's still say it as far as we know. We can say as far as we know.
Fair.
Yeah. We don't know anybody else.
You know,
I
noticed a lot of dumb radio hosts will say that to get away with just saying whatever they want. Yeah. They'll just say, hey, as far as I know.
From what I understand.
What would you say to someone? That's how you ask a terrible question to somebody. Like if you have the rapist on the couch, you're like, what would you say to someone who says you are a rapist? Not me. I'm not saying that, but someone who...
It's pronounced therapist, sir.
Give it up for the Tom and Dan Band, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Tom and Dan Band. So glad to have them. That was one of my dreams. You know, that's the original... this is the warm-up. That's one of the original reasons why we have the rotating intro on the ACT show. Is because
you wanted to do a band?
Because we wanted to do a live band. Because I wanted an element that gave it, like, fresh energy every time. And then we thought Simpsons, like Bart writing on the chalkboard. And then we thought Conan, because Conan at that time was doing something where he would title all of his shows. And then we got there. We got to Black God.
I like it, though.
Yeah, that's what we got to. All right. Everybody can hear okay?
Test.
I gotta bring Pat up a little bit. Look, Pat looks like with the camera. I don't know if you can you see it up there? Is it on up there or no?
No, not yet.
Hold on, let me get that. Because I want to show you what I can do with Pat. Okay, now I'll try it. And then let me go in here and change this. Settings.
What are we going to do here?
Okay, watch Pat.
All right.
Okay, hold on. Look at him. Okay, there's this normal professional Pat.
Oh.
You ready?
Oh.
And this lowrider vehicle Pat. This is Pat in traffic. Orlando. This is Orlando traffic Pat. He's later. Yeah, thank you, Pat, for playing along. Okay, so Melissa clipped this. So this is lowrider Pat, and then he's got the chain on. And then, hold on, he's going up and down the road. There's lowrider Pat. This is the warm up. Wow. This is lowrider Pat. And this is professional chef Pat. There you go. Okay. So
we could put like a green screen behind them and then
and make it drive. Mario Kart. Make it like Mario.
I always loved like Conan O'Brien, where he took the desk out for a drive. You know, he could take the couch out for a drive. Yeah.
Oh, should we put a full green screen and then we're you guys are on the road. I used to love that.
Get one of those little tight steering wheels.
We could do this. Let's just steal all of Conan's bits from the early '90s and just redo them like Mr. Beast is doing now.
Well, I like putting
masturbating bear. Here we come.
You put a green screen behind our guests that are sitting on our couch, and to make it look like they're in a different place, you know, like any other podcast where you're just broadcasting in a bunch of different places, and then people are like, oh yeah, they're all in different places. Like, no, all in the same room. They're like, why would you make it look like that?
I do like that.
Because we can.
Yeah, I do like that.
It's in the same room, but we make it look like we're all in different places.
Yeah, it's like when my wife asks, I'm like, oh, I want to buy this. She's like, what is it? And I take a picture of the computer screen with my phone. Is it right? Right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I like that. Okay. Get that poison in me, and we got some stuff to talk about.
Tom, one other thing too. We do have our Valentine's.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Oh yeah. The mixer. Yeah. We're ending with that because I got a lot to talk about with
Do you even know what a mixer is?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the stuff that's the stuff that people drink when they stop drinking, right? Mixers.
It's like that Always Sunny clip where he takes a sip of orange juice, and he's like, what the? He's like, this is only mixer. And then Danny DeVito's like, yeah, people, they drink that. They drink mixers.
I agree.
That's an underrated. Well, no, it's an accurately appreciated show.
For sure.
I was gonna say underrated, but it's not. I think people accurately care for it.
I feel like social media blew that show up. You know,
I'm with you. It took a long time for it to catch on.
Like I remember the first 6 seasons, people were telling me like, watch this. I was just like, I didn't have time.
Yeah, for whatever
I didn't have
reason,
time to watch that show then.
You have to find the DVDs too. So
people gave them to me, then that's how I went back through. I forget who loaned me. It was a listener that loaned me the DVDs. It wasn't EJ, was it?
You can't stream all the seasons.
Now you can.
Oh,
but like back in the day.
Back in the day,
like,
you couldn't.
yeah.
Back in the day, like if I wanted to start, because I wanted to start fresh, and you couldn't. There was no
catch reruns on FX or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I think we are good, Mr. Van. Why don't you begin?
Let's do it.
Where's this going?
Tuesday 3.
Tuesday 3.
Tonight at 8. Yeah.
Tonight at 8. Here we go. In 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We've got Chef Pat and Eric here from Hollerbach German Restaurant.
Yes,
it's too early for that.
First blast of the year, man. First blast.
Chef Pat is dressed like
Hudson Hawk. He's dressed like a cat burglar. Are you going to pull off the largest heist of all time?
I would never tell you.
Yeah.
That's a badass watch you got there. By the way.
Yeah. Look, this is what happens when somebody comes in here with some style.
Yeah.
Instead of you and I don't know what look I'm going for, but apparently it's small dying man, and I don't know what look you're going for. I think it's dude freaks out and becomes gay runner, leaves his family. That's what happens.
I need
You're going for Dallas Buyers Club. That's what you're going for.
Big gold watch.
You do. We've talked about this before. No, you can't do the chain. You're not there yet.
I want the chain on the outside like weirdo Zuckerberg.
Okay, you can do that. You can do that, but only if you put a boat prop on the end of it, because you're a Florida
man. You can do it.
Yeah, you're a Florida guy. You can do
Florida
it.
businessman.
But there's got to be a dangler on the end of it. It's got to be a
dangler. Just a chain. You'll be fine.
No, I don't think he can do the dangler. He's got to have a mai. He's got to have a boat prop. He's got to have like a.
How about a gold hurricane symbol?
That would work.
Okay,
That would work. That would absolutely work. A UM? Oh, hell yeah.
No, like the actual symbol for a hurricane.
Like the swoosh.
Oh my God, that's very morbid. And engrave your dad's name on the back of it or something.
Before we start,
morbid.
Eric from Hollerbach, I didn't know this, but he is a Godzilla-man.
Yeah.
And he was very impressed by our Godzilla pinball machine.
Amazing.
Yeah. I'll put the camera on so those of us that are watching on Twitch and YouTube, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, or YouTube @Tom and Dan Live.
Can I just spend the whole interview playing that? And you just have the camera
I would
can
say
see my high
you
score?
can, but Tom has a problem concentrating doing the show when people are playing pinball. He yelled at my wife, called her the C word.
No, I didn't.
Called her the C word.
Not.
Yeah, it was aggressive.
No,
He was drunk.
No, you.
He's always over the Christmas, all I did was get drunk and play that game. It's so fun.
So
thepinballdudes.net. If you're looking to rent pinball or put it in your home, you can make that a reality. It's awesome.
Chef Pat, first Eric is like, "Oh, you got Godzilla pinball." I was like, "I love Godzilla." Then Chef Pat's like, "Oh yeah, Eric has a whole room in his house dedicated to Godzilla."
What?
And I was like, "What?"
No, it's all sprinkled out. You know, I've got some
You can't
artistically
sprinkle
done.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's
Godzilla
Godzilla. He doesn't sprinkle.
Yeah, the first thing you see when you come into my house is like a 3-foot-tall Godzilla statue that's sitting on a bookshelf facing my door. That has maybe scared me way too many times.
You have a 3-foot-tall real Godzilla officially licensed?
That's right. Oh, of course. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, you
I
don't-
don't want to knock off.
You don't run the
Godzilla.
junk, do you? This is a real Godzilla month. Is this a Weird Hobby Wednesday? I feel like it's Weird Hobby Wednesday. Can we do that? Can we do like a hybrid?
How does your wife let you have it? My wife gets mad when I leave my sandals on the floor.
Your wife has a singing Satchmo doll in the middle of your living room. It's no different than a 3-foot-tall Godzilla.
I'll leave my workout shoes near the garage door, and she's like, "I tripped in the goddamn shoes again," and she'll kick him out of the way.
Have you seen how big his hokas are? It looks like he's wearing 2 emergency airline wraps.
So when'd you get into Godzilla?
Honestly, since I was super young. I remember watching Godzilla vs. King Kong when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I was hooked. Got to watch, lots of giant fighting monsters,
It's a
the new school Godzilla versus King Kong, right?
That is the silliest movie of all time, and I love it so much. It's like they know how cheesy it is. They're finally like saying heck with trying to be any kind of serious. Like it's just like we're going to put all these monsters. They're going to beat each other up for an hour and a half and you're going to love it.
Yeah, my dad too would sprinkle in the occasional Godzilla movie. Coming home from the video store, I know I'm older than you, but my dad would bring home like they'd slip one in, I think he was trying to get it past mom.
Well, you're watching the old school Godzilla, like Japanese films, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it's Toto or Toho is the production company there. And, I think they're awesome. I mean, especially the first 2 that I've seen, especially the first one, it still holds up. There's a reason it should be protected at all costs. I mean, it is a piece of film history. But what kind of other stuff do you have? What kind of Godzilla gear do you have?
I don't have I have lots of artwork, so lots of posters, stuff like that. Board games. I've got like 2 or 3 of the Godzilla board games that I wouldn't say are the best in the world, but I do personally love having them.
But the newer school Godzilla, or you're talking like the old school vintage Godzilla. Like, you have to want one more than the other.
These are stuff I picked up at MegaCon a few years ago. So it's somebody's interpretation. It looks, very Japanese, very old school looking. Yeah, super cool.
I need to have some sort of interesting thing in my life. I have
nothing. Okay, hold on. Before
you come to my house, there's nothing. I have nothing on display.
Yeah, you do. Your pictures of your kids. I would think that's sort of your hobby.
Everyone has kids. That's not interesting at all.
I don't know.
I'm just saying, like, in general, having kids
you
is
either
nothing.
have kids or you have Godzilla posters on your wall, I guess.
I think that is the trade.
Right.
I really believe that is the trade.
I play disc golf. I have video games.
Yeah.
I have board games. I play dungeons. I have tons of hobbies and 0 kids.
Yeah, this guy's living the dream.
Yeah,
tons of kids, 0 hobbies.
Kids aren't interesting at all.
Let me ask you a very important question, though. Do you want the hobby because you want the hobby? Or do you want the hobby just so you can sit on a couch on a podcast like Eric and say, oh, the first thing you see when you come into my home is a 3-foot-tall Godzilla? Because it sounds like you're just looking for something to tell people you do.
I just want other people to think, like, this guy's interesting.
Right. I was right. I was right.
He's into something. He likes this. He collects this.
Yeah.
I don't, I'm a 0.
Start a collection.
It used to be that I had a podcast that was interesting. Now that's out of the window. It doesn't matter anymore.
No, everybody's got podcasts.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, that's not interesting at all to have a podcast. Anyway, sorry. Chef Pat.
We need a collection for you. Think on that. The listener, we put it out there in the universe. The listeners will think about it, and we'll get back to you. But I think collecting something would be good for you and the sons.
But I'm not interested in anything.
Are the boys?
Yeah.
What do they want to collect? Ask them what they want to collect.
They're too young. They're jump from one thing to the other. Now Tommy's watching Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
He went for he consumed all the anime.
Yeah. He's like, I'm done with it. I've seen enough heads getting chopped off and Japanese boobies and moving on to Bob's Burgers.
Well, we wouldn't let him watch the TV mature anime.
I'd stop watching it too if you took away that. Yeah. I mean, it was good until you took away the boobies.
I don't want to watch the kids' ones.
Yeah, exactly. They're boring. I don't want to watch that. I want to watch some good stuff.
Let's talk about Salvatore Doppelbach because...
Is that your online... That's your Ashley Madison name, is it? No, hold on. I'm writing that down. What is your name on Ashley Madison?
Salvatore Doppelbach.
Salvatore Doppelbach. And what do you do on Ashley Madison Salvatore, if I may ask you?
It's a beer, and it's a very rare beer that Hollerbach has now on tap.
Okay.
And so from what I read on your guys' social media, that is it Paulaner? Paulaner? Okay, sorry.
Paulana.
So that person.
Say it like Pat, say Paulana.
This dude has been...
You know what? Whenever there's something hard to say, just look into the camera and say, Bundlerooski doo, like, old Andy Reid.
So this beer has been brewed for 375 years?
Right. It's one of the oldest. It's the OG Doppelbach.
Yep.
And Doppelbach is, it's like a double
alcohol.
Double goat is literally what it translates into. A Bach is a goat. But so it's like, 7 to 9%. Generally, so it's a little bit stronger than most beers. And the monks brewed it during times of fasting because it was such a rich beer that they could get nourishment off of it while they weren't eating. So they would this is their liquid bread, literally.
So there's like just so calorie dense.
Right.
That,
You've said that
live
this
off of
is truly unique because you've told us that this was coming. Obviously.
It's my favorite beer.
Yeah, and you said that it is it's delicious, right? Describe, like, what is it? If you can, like, what is it like? What does it taste like? Or what is it? Is it thick? Is it light? Is it?
So most German beers are not thick, even the dark beers. It's not a wheat beer, so it's not like creamy like a Hefeweizen or anything like that. So
you would just say go and try it.
It's malty.
I love malty beers.
Me too.
It's weird that when you drink beers, you do kind of go through a flavor, like a flavor switch at some point. We're going to have the guys talking about Orlando Beer Week in a little bit later too. But I'm more on a malt.
Yeah, I like the sweeter, maltier kind of beers as opposed to like bitter IPAs or Pilsners or stuff like that.
But it's a super rare beer, and Hollerbach is one of the only places in
as
the
far
United
as I
States.
know, it's the only. As far as I know, I will tell you guys.
The only
As far
place.
as I know, it's the only place you can.
We
get
were
it.
at least the
tap.
first place to get it in U.S. But yeah, that's what I was told was they were importing it just for us because they don't normally. And we have done stuff like this with different breweries where we got the only run that they ship to America because we go through enough volume. They'll let us know 6 months ahead of time. Hey, we're gonna have 20 kegs of this beer.
Nice.
How many do you want? And we say 20. So
Right.
Gotcha. And so that's available now, but I'm sure for a limited time until
for
it
sure,
runs
for a
out,
limited time. We've been pretty busy the last couple of weeks, so I know we've been going through it.
I saw English Dave on there drinking a non-alcohol
Yeah,
beer.
yeah,
Like, can you talk a little bit about this because
we've got
it's super trendy right now. If for the even I see people even like raving alcoholics. They're like, no, they're shaking. They're like, no, I drink non-alcoholic now because it's super trendy. I was like, oh, you're gonna kill yourself. But no, like it's good to be able to be a little healthier,
Sure.
or just safer behind the wheel.
Sure.
So what is this beer? Tell us
So
about
we
this.
have a non-alcoholic Kolsch, which is kind of on brand for us. Our house beer is a Hollerbach's Kolsch beer, and
By the way, I love that beer.
for sure.
I call it. That's Theo's beer, right?
That's Theo's beer,
Yeah,
right?
I just call it Theo's beer because I don't really know. I don't know what it is. That like I'm kind of
Yes, one with Theo's face on the tap.
Yep, I just say, give me the Theo beer.
But yeah, so it's that style of beer, but it's non-alcoholic, and also it is the same as our quote unquote the gluten-free beer. It's made with the gluten extracted, so not only alcohol-free but gluten-free.
Nice.
I hate gluten.
Yeah, me too.
Those
I
darn
know what it
glutens.
is.
It's my enemy. I don't even really know what it is. I bought gluten-free oatmeal by mistake because I don't know if you guys know this. I'm old and I eat oatmeal now in the mornings.
Shouldn't all oatmeal be
yeah,
gluten-free?
Because when you're old, you have to get oatmeal in your belly to coat it. So just a little bit of spice you have on a ham sandwich doesn't blow diarrhea out of you because you're old. That's why you have to. That's what the oatmeal's for. Science.
So let's talk about this. Hollerbach is hosting a singles mixer for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
February
Yes.
14th. It is, I
Is
believe at 7
Salvatore
o'clock.
Doppelbach going to be there? Are you gonna, or is the Sheik possibly stopping by? Tom has yet to in 2025 wear his Sheik costume yet.
Tickets are $20. Comes with a welcome cocktail, some chocolates, a small buffet. And so the singles mixer. All right,
yeah.
let's talk about this.
You ever been to a?
I've never been on a date, Daniel.
Okay,
I've been-
I wouldn't say that to people.
I've been on with the
I
same
wouldn't
lady
say-
since high school.
And the way you said it too, it sounded so weak. It's like I've never been on a date.
I was 16 and a half when I met my wife.
Gross.
And then that's it.
Oh my God, it's the
now I'm
movie
43.
Kids. It's the movie Kids. Gross.
And although I've had the spectrum,
You You have.
from teen to 43
You
year
have it all.
old.
You've done some bad stuff.
I shouldn't say that. Anyway,
I would say that it's like.
Wait,
you
should
know
I
what?
brag about
You know what's
making
interesting?
love to my teen wife?
Yeah, that's you know what's interesting is
That happened. I was
you
16 too. What?
have, based on just your pattern of a relationship,
Oh.
you have pedophile memory, and I do not. I do not because I met my wife when she was 21. But you, sir, you are a future pedophile.
Yeah. Sometimes when
You're a memory pedophile.
when I look at young pictures of Crystal, I'm like, oh, this chick is. And then I'm like, oh God, should I eat
Yeah. And then you go, that's my daughter. And it's not. But you're so
No,
drunk.
it's
you don't
my
even
wife.
Know. Yeah.
It's my old wife, but
Yeah.
young. And then I'm like, wow, she's hot when she was young.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh God, I
look at her
shouldn't
now.
pick that.
You ever hold a picture? Sometimes you ever get an old picture of your wife and hold it up, and then she's in the background, and you look at it, and you're like, it's not the same person. You ever do that?
Oh yeah.
I don't do that. I got some pointers for you
Okay, all right.
because I think we should send you out there because you said that this would be the scariest thing you would ever have to accomplish.
Well, okay.
Tell me about you at the singles night at Hollerbach.
I don't know.
What's it called? The worst way to find love? I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. The best way to find love.
It's well, first I feel like the pressure of like when you sit down because I guess everybody's around.
That's on the list right here.
Okay, what?
You got to shift the mindset. Frame the mixer as an opportunity to make new friends rather than focusing on dating and putting pressure on yourself.
I don't like new friends.
And then it also goes on a little. It says, take breaks. Step outside to acquire a quieter area if it feels overwhelming, little baby. You got to go out there. Oh, you got to go out there.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass out.
Yeah, but all I'm looking for is to smash.
Okay, I'm glad you said it like that. Say, all I want to do is get it in. Hey.
No, not to say that.
Cabs here! Cabs here!
And then I feel like I'm sitting at the table and I'm talking to a lady.
From Snooki.
And then what do we talk about?
Yeah, hold on.
All I know about is football.
It says right here.
And I can complain about my wife.
I got it right
Talk
here.
about my wife and kids. Like,
Well, my ex-wife. I can tell you how much of a bitch my ex-wife is.
You gotta let me get it in. And then start fist pumping. It says, ChatGPT told me to have you prepare a few icebreakers. And then it gave you some icebreakers. It says, have some go-to topics or questions ready, like asking about their favorite places in the city or hobbies. It can help avoid awkward silences. You are Mr. Awkward Silence. Here's a couple of icebreakers. What's the best thing you've done this week? Oh, that's some nerd ass. Number 2.
What's the best thing you've done this week?
What's the best thing you've done this week?
I think we're having a pretty great podcast.
Here's number 2. If you could instantly master any skill, what would it be? Don't use these. Don't use these. Ooh, what's your go-to comfort food? Mine's mac and cheese. What's your favorite place you've ever traveled to? Mine is one time I visited my mother in South Florida. Have you tried anything new lately? Food, hobbies, anything? What's a fun fact about you that most people don't know? I have an inverted nipple.
My God. I mean, is there any chance?
This is making you uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, but I guess how else do you meet people? You know, like, you know.
If you were a vegetable, you'd be a cucumber. They gave me some bad ones, too.
Because I feel like the pendulum is swinging back from online-only dating because everybody's heavy into it.
I like this one. On a scale of 1 to America, how free are you today? I've never heard that one. I've never heard that.
That just did it.
ChatGPT gave me, on a scale of 1 to America, how free are you today? That's a badass pickup line. Have you guys ever heard that?
I mean, it was probably really popular yesterday.
I've never heard that. That's an old thing?
I've never heard
I have never heard that, but I'm going to start using that. I'm going to use that with my wife.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm Bahamas free.
What does that mean? That means you can do crime, too. Yeah.
You started, you're like, do they have a king? I don't know. I have no idea how their democracy works. Who knows how the Bahamas government works?
This one we can't use. I even told AI that we were at Hollerbach, and it says, I said, yeah, we're doing a mixer, the worst way to find love at Hollerbach, German restaurant, and then it gave me this as a pickup line. So what's a nice person like you doing at this place? I can't use that.
I agree.
I can't use that. That's unusable.
I heard it on Tom and Dan. So let's end with this. I also saw on hollerbox.com that you guys, and you've been doing this for a while.
You guys have a ton of stuff going on. You must be exhausted.
But the catering.
I mean, truly, all I just want is the schnitzel.
So, speaking of the schnitzel,
I'm an easy boy.
If I go to a function and you got a Hollerbach catering, I'm like, oh my God. I mean, that's top tier.
You know, it does instantly make me not hate my boss.
Yeah.
Because I know they bought good food. You know, like it's not the pizza. Yeah. Don't do pizza party. Get out of here with that.
Chick-fil-A.
Don't do that. No, get a real restaurant.
Jersey Mike's.
Get a real restaurant. Don't get fast food.
Put a sausage in your mouth.
Yeah, don't get fast food for your team. That's garbage.
So what's a good group for Hollerbach catering? Like, are we talking catering for 50, for 35,
whatever,
100?
Whatever.
Hundreds.
We just did how big was the one out on the coast?
We drove all the way down to what is it?
Merritt Island or something like that.
There was 200 people.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, no big deal.
So that is awesome. I mean, you have an event coming up. Get a hold of Hollerbach. Get that Hollerbach catering, and it's going to be a hit.
I'm so 100%. Hungry. I'm trying to starve myself. I'm not able to.
Or if you're flying out of Sanford Airport.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah. What do you guys offer at the Sanford Airport?
Schnitzel, just what you wanted, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I can get a schnitzel before I board?
For sure, and many people that we know have and say it's just as good as the Hollerbach schnitzel.
I think that's fantastic, man.
Yeah, so Chef Pat took a week and went over there and trained their staff how to do our Hollerbach recipes. We have our flatbreads there, the pretzels with cheese dip there, a couple of sausage, our sauerkraut, schnitzel, Jaeger schnitzel.
Yeah, so it's just pared down, but like some of your favorites are.
For
that's
sure.
Killer.
They have the Hollerbach Kolsch on draft there.
Oh, no way.
And they have a few other German beers. You can get Bud Light there too, I guess, because they have to.
No. For those of you that are nervous flyers, a Kolsch will do you just fine.
They'll recommend otherwise. They've got a really good staff. Christina and Chris went over there and trained. English Dave went over and helped
cool.
the bartenders and the bar staff. So
Dave's a good dude, man.
Yeah, and most of them have come through the restaurant to see what we're about. We're still trying to get the whole staff there on one night when they can. But yeah, they got trained by our staff how to be a mini version of us, just because we told them, if you guys get bad reviews, we're going to hear about it, right?
Sure, yeah.
They're going to think it's us. But luckily, so far, all we've gotten is good reviews, and we have gotten tagged in it on socials and stuff. So, yeah, kudos to those guys for doing a good job. I think we've got is it a grand opening this week, I believe, or something like that?
Yeah, on Thursday.
But
I think it's only for
past
those
security,
flying.
so you have to have a ticket or security clearance to get there.
It's at a gate.
Yeah, it's at the
it is
gate.
nice that they offer something like that. 'Cause sometimes, I used to hate it when you get to a gate and then they're like, "Well, sorry, you're in," and there's literally nothing down here of quality. So you're, what are you eating? A bag of jelly beans and a Gatorade?
McDonald's.
I don't want to do that, man. And again, for me, like I'm a nervous flyer. You know me, like what I would always go to a bar. I got to get myself a beer and get myself fed.
Yeah,
so I don't feel like a piece of crap on the plane. Like
I raw dog it, no drinks, no food. I don't want to have to get up and go to the bathroom. I flew to and from Germany. I peed once both trips.
You're not a nervous flyer, are you? Oh my god, are you? You really are.
If I can fall asleep, but I didn't fall asleep. And then
I don't pee. I just hold it for I can hold it for a 24-hour flight. I
legit.
Feel like.
You're missing out on one of the greatest pleasures in life, which is getting so drunk on an airplane you don't care if it crashes.
I've never.
Oh my God! You jumped in my brain.
That's awesome.
I need to be sober. I can't.
Do you know how many times
you're like I don't care what?
Yeah, there's a state of airplane nirvana that what Professor Tom is speaking of is an actual occurrence. Trust me, as the most nervous flyer, or one of, you get in there and you start looking in the mirror and you're hammered and the plane's moving.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not nervous at all.
Yeah, and you're like, I feel fine. You're like, why is it such a big deal? And you're like, if we die, we die. I don't even care. In fact, I'm going to get another drink because I don't think we feel even better.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Freaks me out.
Well, Chef
then the
Pat,
Xanax kicks in. And then you're out. Then you Heath Ledger yourself. You can't walk the next day.
Chef Pat, Eric, thanks so much for stopping by.
Good seeing you guys, man.
Thanks,
Congrats
guys.
on all the fun stuff coming up on the worst way to find love. Sign up for that singles mixer, guys.
Yeah, again, that's on February 14th. Go to hollerbox.com. Just follow them on social media. That's the easiest thing to do.
It'll make you hungry, but follow them, please.
You'll find out about all the promotions.
We'll be back at the stadium this year, too, for men's soccer games, the 22nd opening game, so we'll be there again.
I'm glad you said it.
Awesome.
I didn't want to be that guy. I was going to ask, but I didn't want to. I think
your hat made me think about it.
You're creeping in my head now. I didn't want to put him on the spot and then have him go like, no, we're not doing that anymore. We
have not re-upped the contract.
Our trick was to bring a schnitzel specifically for our guy Matt at the stadium. He's the one who's hired us. So
and when the head of security wants a schnitzel, he'll message us and let us know. So
yeah, it's all bribery. It's the only reason why we're there.
Well, you guys are the secret pretzel hack, is what I've been hearing. Is that's the place to go. So glad you're back with Orlando City. That's awesome.
For sure.
Yep, it's hollerbox.com.
Yep.
Again, follow them on social media.
Hollerbach German Restaurant. Get out there, try it.
In downtown Sanford. All right,
sir.
We will be right back.
Awesome, guys.
Nice. Thank you, fellas.
Yeah, thanks. Thank
No
you,
problem.
Guys. It's always fun seeing you. Absolutely. Please tell Christina and everybody, Dave and everybody, Theo.
Oh, yeah.
What's he up to?
Who knows? Eric and him meet once a week. That's the only time I see him.
Nice.
He goes in his office and then leaves.
Deserves it.
We said it before. These look like the old Cherry Coke cans. They really do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know what? They really do. I didn't even think about that. At some point, I thought I'd heard a rumor that they were changing Mountain Dew back to Mountain Dew. They're going to take the MTN off and go back to just like the words. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird, but
Don't abbreviate the word mountain here anymore.
yeah, sorry.
We're gonna bring back, Hollerbach's Willow Tree Cafe for the summer. So
Are you really?
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna do the throwback. Oh, cool. That'll be fun. That'll be really fun.
Awesome.
The old Willow Tree. Good seeing y'all.
If anything, let me know.
See you, bud.
We'll talk soon.
I'll be here for the next hour or two playing.
You're
Yeah,
more than
yeah,
welcome.
yeah.
That's what it's for. So make yourself at home. Where's that go?
That's Tuesday 3.
Tuesday 3.
Oh, shit.
What's wrong?
No, I realized I forgot to put my watch on this morning.
Did we have anything for Tuesday already? Yes. We did Tuesday. Didn't we?
Yeah, we did Tuesday 1 and 2 with the skateboarder from yesterday. You may have put it for Tuesday 3 and 4.
Yeah, I think I did. Because we had 1 and 2 already?
No, the skateboarder we were gonna do 1 and 2.
Did I save both of these? I'm gonna have to save this again and just figure it out here in a second. This computer's looking weird. What's next?
We're just gonna do Tuesday 4.
Yeah, sorry, man. Give me 1 second to make sure this is tidied up. And we said that was 3, correct?
Yeah. And you found the skateboarder.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find it. I think I labeled it wrong. I'm gonna go back and get it in a second when we're done. 17 men's. Oh yeah, Tracy, that's making me hungry as hell. And keyed up, I agree with you. I could not wear shorts today. Way too cold, man. Way too cold. I've never heard that one icebreaker. That's funny. On a scale of 1 to America, how free are you tonight? That's not bad. All right. We want to do 23 minutes here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Would I can bring us back? What do you want
Cool.
to jump to?
I got a story about
Okay,
yesterday.
cool. And I got a couple of little things to tell you about if we run out of gas. Here we go. 3, 2. Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
So yesterday the kids had off of school for Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when I got home, of course, Crystal had to go show some houses. And
Did we get that? Just a quick question.
Well,
Do you remember not being in school for Martin Luther King Day?
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a federal holiday.
I don't remember any of that stuff. Like any of the holidays we had. I mean, it's not surprising. I do have a terrible memory. But anyway.
Yeah, it just runs together.
Yeah.
Although it does seem like they have way more time off than we did. As far as like end of the year, I don't remember getting
Again,
2
I'm not
weeks,
trying to be that guy, but yeah, I am eking into that territory.
but it's probably the same.
Did
anyway.
we have off? Did I have off on Martin Luther King Day?
So I get home,
Yeah.
and of course they're playing Roblox or whatever.
Hell yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, enough with this. We're
Oh, no,
going outside.
You what? You scream it ends today?
Yeah, well, I'm just like, get ready to go to the park.
Daddy's declaration. The park? Yeah. Oh, my God.
I don't want to go to the park, especially
They don't
want to
go to the park. They want to play video. Have you played video games?
Too much screens.
Dude, you got to give in. You got to give in to the
screen. No, it's messing with their brain. They're becoming addicted to it. Okay. And I really do believe that
You're their dad. You're going to know better than anybody. I got you.
And so I'm like, all right, let's go. So we load up all the balls.
Are they like, this is...
No, they're used to me and Crystal saying enough, we only give an hour on days off and the weekends, and we give them a little more. Anyway, it's just we're constantly in a battle over they would rather just be on screens.
Sure.
And I want to get them outside.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we go to the park.
God, the park. What are you going to do?
We load up all the balls.
It's so generic, too. It's like, hey, what are we going to do? Oh, throw a ball, kick a ball. It's so generic. God, give me the video games.
Yeah.
That's Sorry, I'm not trying to be that side, and you can punch me if you would like.
No. You're right. They're right. I'm just fighting
Think about how generic that is, like a red rubber ball.
Yeah.
And then you what? Go down a slide? Do you want him to go down a slide? Is that what you want him to do? We have cars that drive themselves, man.
They used to go down the slides and enjoy the actual playground of the park.
Until they got into the net. They're in the net now.
Now it's a 9 and 10. There are.
You know why they call it the net? Because it catches little boys. That's why it's called that.
Basketball courts there, but
they're not basketball boys.
No
offense.
No.
No offense.
The whole Van family. Although I did tell them that when I was in 9th grade, I tried out for the Southwest junior varsity basketball team.
And you made it, right?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Hey, but you tried out. Tried out. Back to the lesson at hand. Teaching moment. You tried out.
Which, as I'm telling them the story, and I remember trying out, I think to myself, that's a weird thing for me to do. That is one. You know what? You told this story before, and it is odd to me as your friend and business partner. Doesn't sound like me.
I never flagged this on your chart, right?
Yeah.
If I'm your physician, you've told me this story probably 6 times. I've never gone, that's a little weird. Why'd you want to try for basketball? Who was your favorite basketball player? What was your favorite team?
I must have been pressured into it.
By whom?
Or the coach is like,
if you don't do it,
you're
like, the worst.
Just telling everybody like, Van, do you want to try out for the basketball team? I'm like, okay. I just say, and then I just was forced to go.
We need some boys to try for the basketball team. Van will do it, right? Van. Yes, sir.
I can't imagine that with my own free will, I chose.
Can we call your mom? Would she remember?
She would never remember.
She would never know.
No.
What about your sister? Would she know?
No. No one will know.
We got to get to the bottom of this.
No.
Where did the
could be a false memory?
But what if it was just that one? What if you were supposed to be the world's greatest basketball player and you just never? Your spark went, and then you know, like
I'm horrible at basketball.
Like a biblical parable. Almost like your talent. You don't want to hide it under a bushel. No,
wasn't good.
Let your light shine.
Anyway, so we decided to play kickball.
Okay.
And I brought some cones
I knew it.
out.
How did I know you were going to play the most generic white guy?
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Well, it's the only
play kickball.
It's a good sport for white people because we can't. It's hard for us to do any other sport.
Yeah, the good ones.
we're not playing. I bought them baseball gloves, but the glove is too hard. I've been pounding them for days with a mallet. And they can't even squeeze the glove together to catch the ball. It just bounces off the glove.
Are they small gloves?
No.
Are they big, giant man leather gloves?
They're stiff and
they're heavy.
They're like they can't catch it, and they can't. They don't have the hand-eye to hit the. They could hit the ball a little bit anyway. Kickball. I'm there. We're there to kill time at the park and get them off the damn screens.
And it's better than screens. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man.
I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
We're just at the park outside.
We're just walking, talking.
Yeah. So
strolling around the lake.
So we're there, and it's me versus the boys. We're playing.
Is it just you guys?
Yeah, just us. No one else really at the park either.
I would tag along, but
it's
my
cold
hips
as
and
balls.
all, I'd just be sitting there complaining. Actually, you don't want to bring me because I'd be like, hey, boys, should we just get home and jump on the old Roblox? And you guys want a game? Let's do some...
I don't need to bring dead weight with me. Also, I don't want to bring anybody that's a better athlete than me to show my boys that I'm not the best
so you're not
athlete.
going to bring Vince Taylor along.
No.
Yeah, good friend of the show. New Blurred Order.
So anyway, some time passes. We play that. Then we play some basketball. We're messing around. And then Crystal shows up.
Are you pulling a wagon of balls? This is very wholesome. The dentist says we don't go to the park and have the whole family show up. This is a very magical moment.
No, Maisie's working, dancing.
But I love the fact that you guys get to spend. I don't even get to see her. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm complaining. I love this. Is great. So this is a very, very wholesome, magical moment.
So it gets to the point where we're gonna play kickball. Crystal is gonna be like adults versus kids. And
shirts and skins. Have Crystal take her shirt off.
She's right.
Yeah. Shirts and skins. Mommy and Max. Okay, you guys are skins. Mommy, pull those things out. My business partner with bad hips has requested you take your shirt off. He's dying. And
the other kids are like, "Oh my God,
look at those things." The only thing that would make me I'm on my deathbed. I'm gonna write your wife later today and ask her if she'll show them to me.
This old lady swinging her teeth.
Don't say this, old lady.
Oh, yeah. I'm saying that from the mentality of a 14-year-old kid.
Take the conversation that we're having.
I'm not saying she's old. I'm saying a 14-year-old kid would.
She's beautiful.
When I'm 14, a 43-year-old woman's old.
Prime. 43-year-old woman, that's when they grind it. That's when they get on it. Okay, so hold on. Take this conversation and slide it to the side just for a second because I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
What do you think the odds are of us having a BDM topless kickball party? That'd be awesome, right?
Probably not going to get any participants except for all dudes.
All dudes and big fat
women want to participate.
Right, back to the kickball with mommy and daddy.
So then I say, all right, well, let's practice catching this ball. And by the way, we're not playing with the traditional red rubber kickball like you see, whatever.
Boom! The one that makes the noise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boom!
We're playing with a lighter, big green plastic Walmart ball.
Like a yoga ball.
Yeah, it was not.
It looked like a bunch of hobos out there.
It's probably double the size of a traditional kickball, and it's lime green, and it's some ball that the kids had. They bought at Walmart in the big ball.
Oh,
bin.
I love those. I love the big ball bin.
So anyway, then I start kicking it as high as I can in the air for them to catch it.
Because everything with you is a feat of strength. Yeah. And take it to the moon. Look at this, Uncle Rico.
So I do keep saying, watch how high I can kick it.
What if they didn't care?
Oh, they care.
They don't. They don't care about any of it.
Well, they're saying "wow" every time I kick it high.
Yeah, but because you do it all the time, it never stops.
So then I say, "Watch, I can kick it higher than this tree that's next to us."
Look
right?
at this. I can kick it higher than a building. Look, I get the boom. You're no different than the Costco guy.
So I straight up, like NFL punter, like 2 steps. Yeah. Punt this thing where I'm trying to bring my leg up to my forehead.
I love it.
Yeah. And I
kick like Maisie's doing a dance where she can kick her forehead.
I kick this thing higher than the tree next to us, and this tree's 30 foot tall.
Yeah.
And then it lands on the top of the tree. And so, situating the ball.
Oh, does Crystal tell you how you're ruining the environment?
No. Well,
plastic.
It lands in these branches, but kind of the branches go out like a U, like a
slingshot.
Well, kind of like
it's cradled in there.
Yeah, like a baseball pitcher would throw a fastball, like a
knuckle.
a knuckleball, whatever, and then
like Crabman's hands.
It just landed.
Like we have a lister that only has 3 fingers. It's like it landed in the Crabman's hand.
Yeah. Like the top of a wizard staff where the marble,
the
jewel is, and the thing that cradles the jewel just landed in there tight.
I've always thought I'd bang the jewel out of a wizard staff. I would take that jewel.
So then I was like, oh, I remember this.
You have to shoot it out of the tree with your handgun. That's what a Florida man does.
Well, speaking of knocking it out of the tree, I remember this situation happening many times when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because
you played outside a lot.
Ball lands on top of tree, then you use other ball or rock to throw it at the ball.
It happens
and
online
knock it out.
too. On Roblox, you can get your digital ball stuck in the tree. You have to throw digital car keys. You're throwing everything up there.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So I'm like, don't worry. And the boy's like, oh no. And then I'm like, don't worry. This has happened to me a lot. I'm a child from the 80s. We got our ball stuck in the tree a lot. and we'd use other balls or rocks to throw it up there and knock it out of the tree.
Right.
It's a standard.
Yeah.
It's an 80s standard.
Well, you'd go, I mean, if you ran out of ball, sometimes you get your second ball, third ball stuck in the trees. Then sometimes you get your shoes stuck. I mean, you go hard. You go hard.
So then I go to our bin of balls. I start looking. I find a mini football.
You're a good dad.
What?
I haven't purchased one ball for my daughter. Not even one.
Oh, yeah, well,
you're a good dad.
Yeah, I have a bin of balls no one uses.
But I've never had to purchase one. Like, there's been no interest in that.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Yeah, is it frisbees? There's like some.
You're a good dad. You got all the toys back there, dude. You got yard darts. Cornhole.
A
what do you want?
A frisbee.
You got an aerobie back there? Dude,
tons of
aerobies
aerobies
are awesome. Those are high dollars, like $14.
So I pick out a mini football, and then I start trying to throw the mini football up there. But now, mind you, this ball is 30. I mean,
yeah,
it's
you
probably
have to kick it up there.
It's above 25 feet for sure. Like, it's at the tip top of this big ass tree at the park.
Tell. You can exaggerate if you want. It's fine. It's radio.
And because of the balloony nature of the tree, you have to kind of throw it at an arc over the other branches to hit the top.
Yeah.
So anyway,
what do the boys do? Have they wandered off at this point?
No, because I told them to go on it's next to the basketball court, so I have to throw. By the way, I saw a BDM there while I was doing this, and he was listening to our show. He's walking his dog.
That happens a lot.
He's walking by. He does a double take. He's like, Tom, and then while I'm trying to throw this, and then he's like, Tom, I'm listening to you on the show, and I'm like, all right.
You're doing gripes. You're doing gripes right now, man.
It is pretty. I think
it's weird.
It must be weird for that person.
But it's cool. It's like, I want to hug that person.
Like,
I thank them.
Because I imagine, I'm like, I wish I was listening to one of my podcasters and he was at the park bumbling around with his sons. You know, like, that never happened to me.
Like Bill Simmons.
Anybody.
His daughter. Did he have a daughter?
Like, I imagine listening to like the podcast I like about the NFL and betting, and then this all of a sudden I look over.
Yeah.
And
there's Moneyline Mike comes walking by.
There's Steve Fezzik.
That's Moneyline Mike.
And then he said, at the park of the Suns. I'm like,
oh my God. Who do you know who that is? The guy with the fedora? That's the Edge.
What an experience for that gentleman to be listening to his favorite podcaster, and there he is, right next to him. Anyway. So
So you gifted this man an experience.
Could you imagine how awesome that was for him?
Can we have a moment of silence for the experience you gifted this man?
I mean, that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Anyway. So
and you got to see how strong you are.
I'm throwing the mini football, and I'm not even coming close.
Right. Well, your strengths are really in your legs. We know that from the speed challenge when you were running 15, 20 miles an hour.
The problem is with the arc, throwing it 35 feet in the air.
You lose some distance.
I'm bouncing it off the, so
that's just physics. I watch SpaceX.
I start digging through the box of balls, and I find a baseball, and I'm like, all right, this will do it. The baseball.
Yes.
Now, mind you, Crystal's there, and then she is encouraging me because I spent about 15 minutes trying to throw the football.
Your wife is a lot more encouraging of you than my wife. My wife does not encourage me at all.
She's encouraging me to give up.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I get a lot of that.
Because she's like, it's getting dark, and you might as well just play something else.
You lost the ball.
Lost the ball.
You got to go to Walmart.
It was $2 at Walmart. Yeah. Whatever. We'll just leave it up there. It'll eventually blow down, and some other kid will get it. Max, not so happy with this idea. He is kind of he's emotionally attached to things.
Yeah.
He does not want to abandon the ball.
I don't blame him. I'm kind of like that.
Tommy's a 0. You know, whatever.
Literally nothing. The Geiger counter is dead. It's flat.
Max is like, it's our ball. I don't want to leave it here. Whatever.
That's the Dan way. That's the Dan way.
And I talked all this about how this has happened in the 80s a million times, and I can get it down.
Yeah.
And so far,
and feats of strength.
No good. Yes, feats of strength.
Yeah.
So I get the baseball, and then I'm like, all right, with this baseball, I could hit it, right? And I'm thinking to myself,
when's the last time you threw a baseball?
But
I tried the other day. Like, it's not like, here, I got one right here. It's not.
Yeah, I could throw a baseball.
I could throw it, but it's like, when's the last time you threw it as hard as you can? Is what I mean. It's like it's like when you asked me, when's the last time you ran like you were running from a lion? It'll break you, dude.
I race my sons a lot.
Yeah.
In fact,
and you run.
Yeah. So I I keep that up.
But for the average man, like even if you're in good shape. When's the last time you ran like you were like somebody was trying to kill you?
Most of my friends, I haven't run full speed in 8 years.
Very hard.
So anyway, I started throwing the baseball. And speaking of how when's the last time you've done this? Throwing, and this target is about, 18 to 20 inches in diameter.
It's like the size of
green
EJ's
ball.
head.
And it's up there on the top of a tree, 30 foot in there. Throwing a baseball at a 30-foot or at a 18-inch target on the top of a tree, harder than I thought.
Yeah,
way harder.
It's a tiny target.
I spent upwards of 25 minutes straight throwing the baseball over and over and over. One time I hit it, it bounced up a little bit and then seated itself back in the thing.
That's the worst. I would have left on that. I would have left on a win.
Yeah. I was hitting the, a bunch of times I got close. I was hitting the branch off of near it, most of the time.
What
not
are the
even
boys
close.
doing?
They're becoming more and more disinterested. Max is still worried they were going to leave
feel like
it.
you're losing him to the net.
Yeah. So then some teen boys that were also playing at the park saw me doing this.
Hey, look at this guy. It looked like he crapped his pants.
And you know what? Teens nowadays a lot more supportive than 80s teens. I feel like
80s teens were jerks.
Yeah.
I like them. The teens now are wimpier.
Yes.
And so they're nicer. Because they realize that those of us that are old heads, even in my state, I'm still meaner than they could ever be.
Yeah.
So they don't challenge me. They're very nice. I love these weaker teens.
Also, videotaping themselves doing whatever for social media
like
content.
silly dances and stuff. So,
So then the other teen, like some teens are like, hey, they're like, sir, I can give it a try. I played baseball or whatever. So then the other teen starts filming him for TikTok or whatever. So he's throwing it. He's not even close.
Yeah.
So he's.
I'm just gonna yell the N-word every time I throw this. And World Star.
Yeah. After 25 minutes, I was getting it dialed it in. You know what I'm saying? This guy's
starting from zero.
Yeah,
You're like, give me the ball.
Just
get the hell out of here.
So it's getting dark, right? Yeah. Crystal's like, let's get out of here. I'm freezing.
I'm gonna ask it again. What are the boys doing?
Tommy's done with it. I think Tommy's sitting.
I love Tommy.
Sitting in Crystal's heated car.
I love Tommy.
Right. Yeah. So I think Crystal.
Tommy's the best.
At this point, it's like dusk, and then Tommy and Crystal are sitting in Crystal's car running.
I got tears in my eyes.
Yeah. We've got jackets on.
Tommy's sitting there with his mom.
The teens are throwing. They're not even close. Yeah. Whatever. And
what's Max doing?
Max, sitting in the car.
He's
no. Max is.
Is he with you?
He's with me. Like, you could do it, Dad. Come on.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
And
I don't get a lot of that.
I had to tell myself, like, there may be a time that I'm gonna have to give up, and then tell my son I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. We have to leave this out. We have to try again tomorrow. Like, it'll be here tomorrow.
Please tell me you got it.
We'll start getting it. Yeah.
Come on. Give me a happy ending here, man.
I said one more throw.
Give
right?
me one more shot.
And then I knocked it out.
Yeah.
It came down.
Let me give you a blast for that.
Max cheered. Crystal's like, fine, we can go.
Good, we got it. All right, get the hell out of here. $2 ball.
And
who cares? Why is everything a feat of strength with you?
And then that was my day yesterday. So it was a little bit of kickball. Around 40 minutes of trying to get the kickball out of the tree.
Boys played kickball for about 3.5 minutes, and then Daddy for 2.5 hours trying to get a ball out of a tree.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if they'd had their iPads, they would have been sitting there on their iPads happy while you're trying to get the ball out of the tree.
Digital kickball.
That's what's great for iPads and phones. They're good for killing time, like when your dad's trying to get a ball out of a tree.
And then I did look at that whole day, 3 minutes kickball, the rest getting, then... and then
I'm starting to give in to everything.
And then I was like, well, what is better? Just Roblox the whole time?
I'm kind of giving in.
I'm
kind of at a giving in. I'm so sick of fighting.
What could happen if they just play video games all the time?
No one knows.
We'll have
it's
to
an
do
experiment. Let's do an experiment, right?
I did see some news report that like an insane amount more people in like 2060 or something, they said, will have dementia. More than
dementia. What is that?
Dementia. And I have no idea why I didn't bother to read.
Dementia's for guys.
And I wonder if it has to do with some sort of overstimulation of the brain or something. But maybe that's gonna happen.
I naturally reject it. And maybe that's just because I'm older. I'm 48. But I find myself rejecting it. Like even video games. Like there are times when like I'll even want to play it. But I want the dopamine or whatever I'm getting from, let's say, playing the game. But my eyes or my brain is telling me like this is making me tired. Like this is not. I'm done with this. It's weird how I reject that.
Although I do use let's say TikTok for. And this sounds ridiculous, but like
a couple of videos to play today.
But a micro learning, it's like little.
Most people use it for news.
And like news, that's not in my algorithm. But like science, other stuff, like.
Well, I mean,
every video.
The term news, as in, like, what do you
want
to consume? I mean,
pop culture stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, it is a version of micro learning, little videos.
You're touching on something. Let me ask you this question. I know we got to get out of here in a minute, but let me ask you this question because it came up on the Tom and Dan Reddit page. There's a guy that was asking, do we wish that we had? Because he said back in the earlier days of the show, back when we were doing like earlier BDM shows. He said that we attempted to make the show very much like void of pop culture or any references that would be like almost like time markers, almost to make it like generic or evergreen in a way.
Yeah.
And I don't remember, honestly, having that conversation. I don't remember us actively deciding to do that. I feel like we've always kind of just done the show about our lives. Well, especially like a mediocre time.
Well, that was before we did a corporate time, and that it takes up. Let's say we do
like at least 2-3 more hours a day.
An hour 45 Monday and Tuesday, then 45 minutes Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So essentially, we're doing like 4 or 5 more hours of content throughout the week. So that takes, if we were just doing a Friday show and a Monday show, we could fill those shows up with just stuff that happened in our lives, and it would be generic. But because we're doing all these other shows, like stuff that's happening in our own lives, there's only so much content, and then you have to go to pop culture and things happening. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, back then we used to do the Friday show. Plus, we were on the radio.
So we burned a lot of our pop culture stuff there.
So we didn't want to talk about pop culture stuff because
we kind of avoided it.
We already talked about it, so we just talked about our own lives.
Yeah, it's like a natural shift, I feel like.
Yeah, and we had the whole week to gather things to talk about for Friday, and then the weekend for Monday. And so now we're doing content throughout the week. Now, eventually, if me and Daniel live this long and we continue the show, we'll probably eventually get to the point where we're just doing a Friday and Monday show again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can see that.
And when we're closer to retirement, and then we'll probably revert back to just talking about things that happen in our own lives and completely eliminating pop culture.
I wonder if they'll let me have a full like computer and gaming rig in a assisted living facility.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming
it's your own like
no, I'm
apartment.
I'm a roommate.
Oh, the poor ones are
Spanish roommate.
yeah. That's a real rough ones.
Yeah.
Or it's like more of a hospital.
Yeah, it's more of a like what's the divider? It's a curtain.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't have speakers. I got to use my headphones. You have to talk real quiet on the show.
Oh yeah.
Why is Dan whispering? Because he's in assisted living and he's got a roommate.
And Andrea, she'll put you in the cheaper one because
I
she's not gonna put you. I
don't even know if she would have a decision. In some weird turn of events, I feel like I end up becoming property of the government in some weird way. Like everyone just like I become.
Well, that's what I told Crystal.
Like nobody control. Like I'm literally under like a conservatorship of some sort.
Well, I told Crystal
and the government puts me in the worst facility.
If all those concussions I had eventually leads me to dementia.
Yes, like dementia.
I said, just divorce me and we'll put it, like everything's in your name anyway. And once we get divorced, and then just make me, a property of the state. It's because I don't know what's going on, so you're not financially responsible for me.
Yes.
She's like, I'll never do that. I'm like, it's better for everybody. I won't know what's going on.
She also said one time on this show many, many years ago that if you were burned, like your face was burned up like Walton Goggins from Fallout, that she would leave you because she wouldn't be able to lay with you anymore because you'd have a disgusting burn face.
Yeah. I like that. She said that. And I was like, good.
But she's also saying she would never leave you like in a assisted living. So on one hand, she'd be nice. With the other, if you're burned, she can't sleep with you anymore.
Well, because she feels bad that I don't know what's going on with the dementia. Yeah. But the burn is like I still have I know what's going on. I'm just ugly.
Could you sleep with your wife if she Freddy Krueger burns?
Oh yeah. I can do anything.
I can sleep with anybody. That's the correct answer. I can sleep with anybody. I can sleep with anything. It's just the laws.
All right. We will see you tomorrow.
All right.
That's it. And then we'll come back after lunch.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, hey, have a good rest of your morning. It's gross outside and cold because I'm going to walk and try to get something to eat. And we'll be on around 12:50 for a... Who do we have at 1?
The guys from Beer Week.
Oh, yeah. We have Chris from, I believe, Tactical Brewery is coming in to talk about Orlando.